Do it. Do it.
Let's do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Must really do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Welcome to NBNR, the authority on unfiltered opinions and authentic player insight for Nebraska athletics. Connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, and at NBNRPodcast.com.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
You know, we just really love Utter. He's a junkyard dog.
Kenny Bell ran up to me. He's like, you know what you just did?
You get mad when you gonna get in the portal and go to another podcast?
You know, usually dumbbells are in pairs. They had 5 dumbbells.
Dang on it, Muhammad!
GBR.
Go Big Red indeed. No block, no rock. Season 4, episode 48. Coming at you from the No Block, No Rock studios in Omaha, Nebraska. 6A128. Seeing as Nebraska Brewing Company is one of our main sponsors, we just got to check. We just got to pay.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, shout out, Paul.
Actually,
Kim.
really, thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
But thank you, both of you.
In tribute, let us talk about the beers we are drinking from Nebraska Brewing Company. It is, 108 degrees outside.
Gross.
It is sickening. It should be illegal. This type of weather should be outlawed. It should be banned. But it's not. It is here and hopefully gone soon. But until it leaves, I got myself a Squeeze the Day from Nebraska Brewing Company. Like a lemon, zesty. Yeah, I said zesty.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Some people are calling it beer of the summer.
I think you should try to mix the pickle fight in the Squeeze the Day and see how it tastes.
I think what you're suggesting is an abomination.
You should try.
I think that sounds like an abomination.
No,
I have no better word for it.
I think you should try it.
An explosion in my mouth.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the suggestion, Mike.
Yeah. Won't be taking it, but thank you.
Can we go to break? Can we get Mike, what you got?
I'm also drinking Squeeze the Day because it's hotter than shit outside, and yeah, this is refreshing. You don't need anything heavy today. Although the Hefeweizen's, it's pretty smooth. I ain't gonna lie, but
It is, but you don't drink a Hefeweizen in 107 degree weather.
tell that to Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle, what are you drinking?
He's a freak.
I'm drinking the EOS Hefeweizen.
I'm a freak.
Yeah. No, I've got a golf 18 holes tomorrow. So something nice and light, something that's not going to give me a headache or anything after I go to bed tonight. So I got to be in prime shape tomorrow for the golf scramble that I'm in with a couple guys from the Hurrdat squad.
Yeah.
You and your Hurrdat boys, you just golf all day, don't you? It's literally only been like the last 2 weeks, and I don't know what happened, but suddenly I've just been asked to golf for free like 3 times in the last 2 weeks. And you know what?
That's the best kind of golf.
Anytime somebody asks you to golf for free, you don't ever say no.
And you don't have to make any videos or anything, right? You're just golfing.
I'm just
No bullshit.
Kyle's also been on the news like the last couple
local
times he's
celebrity.
been golfing. He's a local celebrity. I mean,
The cameras are everywhere. They're following me.
They're saying America's sweetheart. I don't know.
He looks like freaking. You ever seen that video of Bigfoot when he's walking and he like looks back? Like that's Kyle in every video he's in. He's just walking like Bigfoot, just off in the distance. There he is.
Big dick energy.
I think it's one of the coolest things I get to say is I am friends with a local D-list celebrity.
Put me on TV.
Connor?
All right. So I did, I think the last 2 episodes, I did not start the episode drinking Pilsner. Maybe I did last week. Maybe it was
No,
2
last
weeks in a
week
row.
you did not.
Last week I did not drink
2 weeks
Pilsner.
ago, I think you did. You got the last Pilsner.
I have switched it out, but I am drinking Pilsner today. Again, these guys are talking about how hot it is outside. It is gross.
Sticky even.
Yeah. Oh God, it's
Yeah.
terrible. But Pilsner's nice and light. It makes for a good summer beer. I will tell you, I was talking to you guys about, I gave a tour earlier today at the brewery, and I made some EOS believers. They really enjoyed it. They were from all around the country. It was very cool. But I talked about the awards that EOS has won, and they tried it, and I hated it. I actually told myself I wasn't going to say this in front of Mike because I know he's going to talk shit.
Because it's the best beer.
Yeah. But no, EOS is great beer, but I am drinking Pilsner today.
That's good. You know what? Because it is world class.
In every glass?
Wow.
Oh,
There it is.
Jared, you got...
Hey, no,
got-
that's fine. That's
yeah.
perfect.
I mean, I was just saying that is a world class beer. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, 108th and Harrison, Lewiston, Nebraska. Go there.
Yes,
Get
go
it on
there.
tap.
Tell them that we set you there. Go in there and be like, I listen to this podcast with a bunch of idiots that are talking,
Mhm.
and they drink your beer every week, and I want to try the EOS.
Hey, speaking of a new thing for us, Hail Varsity Magazine. If you buy Hail Varsity Magazine and use promo code NBNR, do they save money or do we just get money?
Yeah. So the campaign hasn't like officially started. It's
Okay.
for the pre-sale for the Hail Varsity yearbook.
The pre-sale.
It's basically everything that we've covered for Nebraska athletics, all the stories that have been written, all the interviews that we've done with a countless amount of staff members and players, and all the photos that go along with it from John Peterson and Eric Francis. They've worked really hard on it, and we're going to start a campaign here shortly, which is you'll get 10% off if you use our code. And what that code is right now, we're not positive because it hasn't
Okay.
officially started yet. But when it does, you'll get 10% off if you just use our code.
Sounds like a perfect gift for a Husker fan right before the season kicks off.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
The way that it was described to me is it's something for your coffee table. There's just loads of information and cool pictures and stuff in there and stories from the season that you haven't heard yet.
Or your brewery establishment. Maybe
Yep.
you need one of those on the table to please the guests while they're drinking EOS at the round table. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
There might be somebody listening that has a brewery that has a round table that could use one of those books. So you never know.
I also will say, as we talk about, a brewery that might be or is definitely affiliated with this podcast, I'm always at that brewery. I personally love to see people come in and talk about NBNR. Come in there. Say you're there from NBNR. I'd love to have a beer with you, show you around the brewery. Like we love being able to bring all of that together. So
Happens all the time, right?
it actually does.
I know. Telling you.
I mean, every time I go in there, it's always like the good old boys out in the corner,
Yeah.
like hanging out at the table. You just go show up and, talk shit all day. And
Take
yeah,
a seat.
it's good.
Yeah, I know there are, I believe, two guys that are now regulars of the brewery, and I'm going to shout them out really quick. Tanner and Ed started coming to the brewery because of the podcast. They're great guys now. I hang out with them every time they're in. If you want to be friends, dude, I like beer and I like talking about sports.
He can be insufferable sometimes, but
Sometimes is
You might-
underselling it. If you like bad takes and corny jokes,
Then go to the
I'm your
brewery.
guy.
You can't go there right now. They are closed today,
Yeah,
but
closed on
make
Mondays.
sure you make a reservation at Nebraska Brewing Company between the hours of what do they open?
So weekdays we are 2 to 9.
Yeah.
And then Friday, Saturday, we're 2 to 10.
Look at that.
And then Sundays we are 2 to 8.
So make a reservation with Connor at the big round table, and you can talk his ear off for about 7 hours. So, yeah.
Tanner and Ed.
Tanner and Ed.
Shout out to Tanner and Ed.
Yeah. Started coming in
Just a
because of the
couple
podcast.
couple dudes
Good dudes.
named Tanner and Ed.
Yeah. Good guys.
Those are
Guys
not
being
made up
guys.
names. Those are not made up names, right?
No, I
Guys,
didn't want
just
to.
making
I didn't
sure.
want to give their last names. That feels
No, that's
weird on
good.
the show.
Yeah, don't do that.
Dudes being dudes.
Okay. Well, class.
In every glass.
Okay. I know you already did it. I know.
Yeah.
I
we
just
did
like
it
it. I
again.
like it when I do it.
It's a
Okay?
bonus.
Okay. It's hot outside. The world is coming apart at the seams. We all hate each other, right? How about that assassination attempt, guys?
Oh,
Jeez.
no.
Anyway.
No.
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 you
no.
sure?
No.
We're good.
Listen, I don't know. It's something to talk about.
Home
We
run
don't-
derbies tonight.
Oh,
What about that?
Yeah. That guy just hit
So
him.
Vladdy not competing today? That's interesting.
Yeah. Did you know that college football came out today?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, hold on. I thought we were going to talk about the other thing first.
Okay, well, whatever you have on the docket, I know what you started first was not what we were going to talk about.
No.
I have it in my notes, guys. But the thing that unites us all, EA Sports College Football 25. Now, I do not have the game. I do not plan on getting the game.
Well, you are going to have the game because we are going to have the game as a podcast, and all 4 of us are going to participate in a dynasty that will be broadcasted to all of our listeners.
So might go on.
Won't that be cool?
Yeah. All right, so I guess let's get into the details. Are we going to be switching off on games? Are we playing against each other? Are we taking different teams?
what's the format?
So the format, I think, will be that we're all going to start as head coaches at 2-star schools. We'll say 2-star to start. And everybody will play each of us in the regular season one time. And then it's just going to be, a grind. I think we're going to play against the computer. People will watch you lose. People will watch you lose to me a lot. And it's going to be fun.
Dude, just because we're not at home freaking playing it for 10 hours a day, bruh.
Hey,
he's like, tough shit.
So this is the part that I find very unfortunate because if I lose to Mike one single time, we're not going to have an Xbox anymore because I'm going to break it.
When? And we should probably get the extra coverage on it because you're going to throw it.
Yeah. Okay. But so who all has it here? Who all has it? Mike's got it.
Kyle and I have it. But Kyle has it for PlayStation and I have it for Xbox. So we are going to get it for Xbox for this room. And we are going to play the games in this room.
So here's what I think is fair is since Jared and I'm a PC gamer, which if you don't have a PC, you should. I think Jared and I, before anything starts, should get to play one game against each other before anything starts so we can just get acquainted.
Dude, you can play each other as many times as you want. I don't care. It's going to be in here. So yeah, you guys
can play each other any times you want. I'm still going to kick your ass.
Hey, Jared, here's the funny thing. I'm going to run the triple option on them all game. I'm going to beat the shit out.
God, that sounds good.
Good luck. Okay. So we're going to, I think we're going to do some fun stuff with the college football in 25. I think we're going to maybe set up like a league for the listeners as well to participate. Okay. I think we will still have one, just the 4 of us, so people can humble us, make fun of us, all that stuff.
So before any of that happens, I have to ask you, since you have played it.
Yes, I did play one game before I got here.
One game?
Yes.
What was your first impression? How was the gameplay? How did Dylan look? How did Memorial Stadium
we don't
look?
even know that he played as Nebraska. I'm going to guess.
He did. Okay. Come on.
So let me tell you what I did. So I popped the game in the game. Or I popped the game on, and I played Nebraska, and I did a random team, and I played against Arizona State.
Okay,
at Memorial Stadium. So let me describe the feeling. Turn the game on. Normally, when you start a game, you just hit A until you start the game. No, I turned it on and I watched all of it. Wait, I watched the tunnel walk.
Is it swag surfing when you turn when it gets to the load menu?
No, it's not even cool.
Oh,
okay. No. So thing by thing, right? Tunnel walk.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
So getting to animations, I will say this. Here's my bone to pick with the game. When the defense makes a tackle, they throw the bones if they make a big play. I got an interception with Tommy Hill. They threw the bones. It was sick.
Did Tommy Hill
let me flip the page on that. I got a first down with Ramir Johnson, and he threw the bones.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
So
here we go.
The offensive side of the ball also throws the bones.
I'm already over this game.
As does.
This game sucks ass already.
Well, so I
Ramir Johnson's throwing the bones.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah. Offensive players and defensive players throw the bones.
Okay. So hold on a second. Let's just hold on. And I'll let you jump in, Connor. Question for you first, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Ramir Johnson, was he on a third down play, on a pass play?
Okay.
Or did you hand it off to him?
So
how accurate is this?
Here's another con.
Okay.
The starting running back of the game before I adjusted the depth chart was some random guy that isn't actually on the team. It was just like some random number 7. And then Gabe Irving is not on the game. So there are
NCAA football know something.
What are we doing? No. So I guess they could only take in so many players, but I did notice they sprinkled in a lot of just fake players in there. So that was kind of weird.
I think there's another thing. Like, did he opt in for the game?
He might have opted out.
Yeah. And so that might be why.
So that might be Gabe Ervin technically, but it's not because, it can't be. So they don't have the same number or anything. But
I'd like to think that I'm knowledgeable. You would think you would have heard that somewhere that Gabe opted out, but maybe not. Maybe
I
not.
did see it on Twitter. I did.
You
see
did?
Yeah, I did see he was not in the game. Who else was?
Gabe Ervin's not.
He's not in the game.
Well, then that checks out. He's no Arch Manning. He
No,
doesn't
I just
make
saw
an
from some-
announcement about like, I'm a second stringer and I'm not going to be in the game.
Right.
Also, a month down the line,
Sure.
I am going to opt in and I'm going to make a commercial. Arch Manning, certified bitch.
Well, he didn't want to be a distraction.
Yeah, from what? Riding the bench?
He was literally a distraction.
That was my joke. Yeah. So Gabe was not the starting. Like the starting running back when I turned the game on was a random player, not any of the actual Husker players.
Jingus Dingus.
So that is a con. The next thing people are not going to want to hear.
How many cons are there?
There's a lot of pros, and I'll get into all of them.
Okay.
But the next con, because I feel like there's less cons than there are pros, but I will get in the next con. If you're a anti-Madden person, this is Madden.
It's Madden.
Real? I had heard the opposite. So go into that.
I played the game, and believe me, I've played every Madden.
Listen, he plays Madden so much.
I don't play it that much anymore, but I'm just saying, Madden, the gameplay, and maybe that's just where we're at with next gen consoles, is the gameplay in NCAA is Madden.
Shake my head.
It's a little different than Madden, but it's Madden. Like
Lazy.
It looks like
and it wasn't lazy. And now I want to get into the pros really quick. The attention to detail and overall in the game in general is fantastic.
Well, hell, they had 11 years to do it.
Yeah, they had 11 years.
shit.
The attention to detail is awesome. The way that you can bluff blitzes, just like the overall recruiting, you have recruiting your transfer portal guys. I think the game was pretty cool. I think they did a really good job as far as animations go, minus the throw the bones on offense. And
Premier Johnson does the 3 and out.
yeah, like the fans.
No,
There's no 3 and out.
because his offense went 3 and out.
Dylan, you asked earlier how Dylan looked. I threw a lot of bombs and threw a lot of touchdowns to Isaiah Nayer,
Okay.
Malachi Coleman,
Okay.
and Jamal Banks. They all caught bombs.
The important question: how many turnovers?
I did throw 2 interceptions.
Oh no!
Okay, hold on.
This game is so accurate.
we won by 10 points.
Okay.
I want to ask:
Were you also play? Okay, Arizona State.
Were-
I played Arizona State.
Were your interceptions being outplayed on defense, or were you making bad calls?
So
bad reads.
So the game, another, I would say pro, but it was kind of a con in my case, is the game is adaptive. So there is momentum shifts.
Mm.
So what happened was I was up 2 scores and I started dicking around, slinging it a little bit with DR, and I threw a pick. Well, next thing you know, the other team had no pulse on offense at all. All of a sudden, they're just shredding me. They go down, score, they score. I get the ball back, can't move the ball at all.
I want to point out, this is the guy that minutes ago was telling us like, when you lose to me, and he's like, yeah, I threw a pick. And then I got dicked
but
on.
when I test out a game, I'm testing out all aspects. Like I'm playing this game like I'm trying to do everything in the game, like dumb plays that I would never actually call. Like I was calling them, like reverse passes and shit. Like I was trying to call any weird thing that I'd never actually tried in a game. I'm doing it in the first game I ever play.
We're going to absolutely murder you.
Yeah, that's me.
That's a good one.
That is me when I play you in NCAA football.
Jeez.
So
I want to bring up something that I know we retweeted and we talked about Jimmy Allen was the fact that apparently EA thinks there's a whole lot of white in that stadium.
Jimmy Allen
Yes.
is shaking.
Yeah.
yes, there is a lot of white in the crowd.
What's up with that?
The sea of red and white.
What is that about?
I think that's accurate.
I mean,
They forgot some of the black specks and the gray specks and sometimes blue.
Some J-Skirt specs.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That looked like way too much white, though.
it's far too much.
Because even
Red
I'm
and
one of
black.
those guys that's like, you should wear red, damn it.
Red
but-
and black, I get. As long as your black has like some red on it, whatever. But like, I don't see many people wearing white.
I mean,
A lot of white.
not that, like,
Not that amount.
when
Yeah.
that ball kicked off, on that little preview, like, that looks like a Penn State home game, for God's sake. What are we doing?
Yeah, Jimmy Allen was definitely rolling in the corner of his room, just foaming
How
at the
many
mouth.
how many holes has he punched in his wall just by saying that?
His name isn't Kyle.
Another thing that I wanted to point out, and I don't know if you guys have been
How dare.
following this. I did, not because I follow him on Twitter, but because it just kept popping up. There is a developer of the game, Bordeaux.
Right.
And he did, this big countdown on the first franchise he was going to rebuild, and it was Nebraska.
Yes, he
And there
did.
was a lot of commentary on that. I don't know if you guys read through the comments
No.
about how you can't rebuild like your first team in NCAA 25 or college football 25.
Yeah, it is not NCAA.
Yeah.
25. It is
college football 25. That they couldn't rebuild a Power 4 team as your first rebuild, to which I continued to reply, Power 2, thank you. Power 2.
Indeed.
What I will say is I liked his explanation. I don't know if you guys saw it, was that Nebraska, while a blue blood, it is a blue blood program. I don't care what anyone has to say, needed a rebuild. We're not, at that level right now. Nebraska should be there. And I enjoyed that. And it was nice to see Nebraska get some recognition.
Listen, Nebraska. So what is, okay, first of all, I have to know. I know these ratings are kind of screwy.
Yeah.
Right. Even Arch Manning's freaking rating was what?
Like
Like 87? Get the
yeah.
fuck. Okay.
He's a second stringer.
Yeah.
With that being said,
Dylan's was 80.
yeah, I know that. But what was his awareness? Do you remember what his awareness was?
I did not go into his ratings, so
Okay.
I
I
have
feel like-
no idea.
I feel like the awareness is going to be
His speed was 73.
okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
These ratings are so dumb.
They're
Dude, Colorado being, were they a top 10 team or top 11? They were ranked 11.
Yeah, their
It's
defense was
absurd.
ranked really high.
yeah.
They couldn't cover a clock
Like-
last year.
They- I know. And they showed Dylan's like player model. Like, how when you create a player that they like stand there?
It's
like-
Mahomes.
No, it's not Mahomes.
No.
No. I was like, why don't you use Mahomes's like template? If it's already Madden, like you say it is, it's like he's all skinny and like he didn't even look. I know I'm mad about a game I'm not even gonna buy. So
Yeah.
I really don't care. What was like Nebraska's like program rating? Did they have like a program rating?
So I haven't really got into
know what I mean?
that. I think their overall rating was like 80 or something.
47.
Well, it's just I'm asking because
47.
like in previous games I would play, like Ohio State would be like a 5-star blue
yeah.
like blue chip program.
I don't know if they're stars. Like I
If
said,
there's
I
anything
only
like that.
played one
Okay.
game on Play
So-
Now. I haven't done enough of it yet, but
Tell me I'm crazy. Let's say it's a star rating. I'm going to do a star rating and then a letter grade of what I feel like would be fair.
okay.
I feel like this year, a fair star rating for Nebraska is 3.
3 out of 5.
3. I feel like if you're going to a letter grade, I think you could give Nebraska a B-.
B minus too high.
B- too high. You
Yeah.
think C plus.
C plus. C plus minus. I'm
I
being
don't-
wishy washy.
So in a video game, I think I would roll with the B minus. In real life, I'd be rolling with the C plus. And the only reason I say that it's a freaking video game.
Right.
So that's different.
I mean, Colorado essentially like a top 11 team in the game.
Well, they're A plus.
That-
So yeah.
Is it actually an A plus?
No, I don't
Oh,
know.
what- yeah,
I
but
have
that's
no
ridiculous.
idea.
The top 11 team, like bare minimum, you're an A minus, and that's Colorado who won 4 games last year.
Mhm.
4 games. I understand Nebraska is one of them. I got in a large argument about that a few weeks ago on Twitter.
Just a whole avalanche of horseshit that happened that day.
Yeah, but
know?
like Colorado getting that ranking, and like I think Nebraska's roster has improved so much more than Colorado's has.
They know what they're
And-
doing.
okay, here's the thing though. Here's again, I'm not mad about it, I swear.
I am.
You don't even need to do that with this game. You don't need to bump Colorado up. People are going to buy the game regardless. So you don't need to do the whole Shadur's a 94 with the 99 awareness. Chill. You don't need to do that stuff. People are going to buy
How
the
is
game.
he at
I'm not-
91 awareness? He was like one of the most
99,
sacked QBs.
99 awareness.
He was one of the most sacked quarterbacks last year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a Colorado lover by any means. I do think Shadir is a good quarterback.
Yes,
I'm
but
not saying
do
he
think,
isn't.
and I do think he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. So I'm not knocking that. I'm
I-
also not knocking Travis Hunter being rated very high.
I
What I'm knocking is that their offensive line couldn't block fucking Millard South coming through, and they literally allowed like 7 sacks against Nebraska. 8 sacks against Nebraska. Like that offense, I'm sorry. Shadir could be as good as he wants. Travis Hunter could be as good as he wants. But if they can't block, you are not a 80-some-year overall offense. So you have to be able to block.
I'm going to take one issue with what you just said. I agree that Shadir Sanders is a good quarterback.
I think he's.
I don't think he's one of the best.
I mean, it's college football.
I
think he's one of the best quarterbacks.
I would say he's top 10 or top 15. I'm not putting him anywhere near the top 5.
Coming from someone that is praying for Colorado's downfall,
I'm not putting him near the top 5.
He's top 10.
I said top 10, top 15.
No, I know, but I think easily top 10.
Easily top 10. I think he's.
You know what I mean?
5.
Like he's in there comfortably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's the whole thing that we saw last season where he was seemingly intentionally taking sacks just to not throw incomplete passes. I find that to be greedy. He's trying
so his completion percentage wouldn't suffer? Is that why?
No, I think when you do something like that, you're sacrificing the team's goals for your own. Because if he has a higher completion percentage and if he takes that sack, it's going to help him, when he comes to the draft, because he will. He'll go to the NFL. I'm not going to say he won't.
He's going to be a first round.
But I think it's a greedy play. And that's why, I move him down just a little bit because I think he's more worried about himself and his future than he is about the team right now.
A Sanders being selfish.
Never.
Yeah, crazy take.
Hey, switch that awareness 99 rating for selfish rating 99. How about that?
You got him. Boom.
You
got
him. No, like I said, I'm not a Colorado lover. I hope we beat the brakes off him, but I do think Shadir and Travis Hunter are top players in college football, and they got rated properly. Yeah, okay. The rest of the team, straight dog shit. So I'm sorry, 2 players aren't going to win you a lot of games. That's why they only won 4 last year.
Hey, speaking of, and unless you guys want to say something else about the game,
no,
I don't want to
not about the video.
I think there'll be more to come on it. We still have to get an Xbox in here, and then we're gonna try to have some fun, the 4 of us. So
we're gonna need to get. I guess we can. I was going to say, we need to get a camera so we can live stream. I'm looking at 3 of them right now.
Yeah, I think we're good on that.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to pivot from that to, did you guys see the comments that Travis Hunter made?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Watch it. Yeah, okay. So they're live streaming the game, right? I don't know who he's playing with.
It, yeah.
But at one point, he says something like, yeah, that offensive line can't block shit or something like that. They're playing as Colorado.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he's dogging on his offensive line in the video game.
He got a comment from, I think it was like a video comment from somebody watching. And someone had asked, is that offensive line, is that accurate? Is the game accurate? Because the quarterback got sacked. He's like, yeah, they can't block worth shit.
I mean,
that's so awesome.
Well, that's maybe not something you should say on a stream.
It's awesome.
Was he wrong?
No, he's not wrong.
Was he wrong?
Dude, they literally went to the portal, and they're going to have 5 different new offensive linemen this year, and that still isn't going to work. I don't care.
It'll work in Lincoln. It'll work for 1 fucking game.
I hope not.
God, I hope not. Listen, after I saw that video, I'm just like, if Nebraska cannot beat Colorado at home this year, we're going to have a little talk. Not you and me, but me and the head guy. Like, what the fuck?
Tom Osborne?
If I have to.
Rat Mule or
fucking Bob Devaney. I'll go to Bob Devaney's grave and be like, what the fuck, bro? What are we doing? Seriously, though. Come on. Don't let them beat you. At home. You have to win games at home, for fuck's sake. You have to win this game.
And you have to wear red.
Wear red. Don't prove the video game right. Wear red. Okay?
2 years ago, I thought that the wake-up call for this program was going to be Northwestern. I thought it was. I was like, this team in no world should have beat Nebraska in Ireland. They did. And then last year, it was Colorado. I said, this team is only going to go uphill. And again, we talk about, Shadir Sanders is a good quarterback. Travis Hunter is an incredible athlete. I'm not going to dog him in any way. But we got beat. Now, this year, this team has to make a statement that we're done doing this shit. We're out here. Kyle, what's that drop? What are we going to do to him?
Oh, one moment.
We're going to absolutely murder you.
That has to be the mindset right there. Come out, play with, when we had Tyler Stone on, he was talking. I was like, we were out there as the Heartbreakers. It's time to be Heartbreakers.
The Heartbreak Tour.
Yeah, it's time to be Heartbreakers.
It's just whether you want to admit it or not, it doesn't matter that Nebraska didn't make a bowl. It doesn't matter that Colorado didn't make a bowl. There's hype for this game. There is. People are going to be in town.
You see how much the tickets are?
How much are they? We're talking how many zeros?
I think they're like 3 a piece right now, aren't they?
I think they're more than that.
Yeah.
I think the last one I saw was like almost $500 a ticket, and they weren't great tickets.
Dare I say that I think for week 2, this might be the most watched game.
Oh, for sure.
Like across the country.
Yeah, but do you not recall I said this game would get game day? It's getting is it Fox News or Fox Big Noon Kickoff or whatever?
Well, no, it's a night game.
Yeah, it's a night game.
Or night game. I don't know.
They could still, yeah, no, they
Is it
can't.
NBC? Oh.
Yeah, it's on NBC.
Is it NBC? Yeah, so it's the NBC coverage. It's going to get a lot of traffic.
There's like, whether you like him or not, Dion is a personality. He gets attention. Matt Rule and Nebraska have attention. I think it's kind of, I don't want to call it a toilet bowl, but
how's it going over there?
Yeah,
it's going well over here.
It's on game day. It's on Fox Big Noon.
I was over here like yawning and like rubbing my eye, and I accidentally pressed my button for my camera. So like,
stupid ass. So okay, that's good.
Somebody got a good look at Kyle there.
Yeah.
Here's what I know that Mike really wants to talk about the turf to grass.
No, it's fine.
And we'll talk about it. But this game with Colorado, let me just pose this what if to you.
Oh.
What if Nebraska loses this game? What if they go out there with all this hype, with the whole narrative of rules culture versus Sanders's, what do you want to call it?
Flash.
Horse shit. Flash. We'll call it flash.
Yeah.
Culture versus flash. Night game. Hype. Whether you want to admit it or not. They go out there and lay an egg. Like, what does that do? Does that result in just a complete unraveling?
No, I don't
Do
think
they
so.
overcome it? Like, what do you think?
I don't think so.
I think one thing that's important to recognize, and this is not me like resigning that we're going to lose to Colorado, because I do, in my heart of hearts, believe that this Nebraska roster is more talented. I think the coaching is better at Nebraska than it is at Colorado. But it is important to recognize, like Mike and Jared, you have been saying, Shedeur Sanders is a good quarterback and he's experienced. And he has played in big games, in big stadiums. He hasn't won all of them. And, when he came to, a good college, and good is a light term, he lost a lot of them. But he's had that experience. And Dylan Raiola is coming in. He hasn't had that. I mean, he did play in Buford and all of these other cities, but Buford being the big one. I mean, that is a big stage, but it's not like it is at Memorial. So his first game against UTEP will be kind of getting sort of acquainted with it, but coming into the Colorado game with all of this hype, it can be tough for a roster this young. So I don't think that a loss against Colorado is like an unraveling. I think it'll be a difficult game for him. I think a loss might be, I wouldn't call it a good thing, but he's going to get a loss eventually. And
it's just,
I think what's important is
that game of all of them, though.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I think if there is a loss, what's more important would not be the result of that game, but how Raiola and Rule and co react to it. I think that's really
well. That's kind of what I'm asking is how do you think that they'll respond?
I would hope the young guys, bounce back and say, you know what, we knew this was going to be a tough game, because I'm not saying Colorado's like a bad team. They have a lot of talent all around that roster. I mean, obviously that O-line is a big, win.
Skill players.
Their skill players are very talented. So I would hope that they look at it as a learning experience and move forward, but it's impossible to know with young guys like this.
I think for myself, I think it would be an absolute identity crisis just for me, because I have stood so strong on the hill. That's like, you can't keep turning over your whole roster and expecting to win and find success. You've got no foundation. You look at Nebraska, they're doing it the complete opposite way that Colorado is doing it. And then they lose to Colorado. If that's the case, what
does that
does it all
say?
mean? What does it mean?
Yeah.
I just think I think I would seriously, like, after that game, I think I'd just start going cross-eyed. My wires would start getting crossed, and like I don't know what you'd think or how you move forward after that.
I mean, so yeah, I guess to your point, I mean, we talked about it last year with Dion turning over like 95% of the roster. We said, well, that can't work. And we got the brakes beat off us. We did. If it happens 2 years in a row, is it still a fluke?
I don't know.
Still a fluke? Or
Exactly.
That's
the thing. That's the thing. It's 2 years in a row, and it's like, wow. In year one, you guys lost to everybody else except us.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, you're itching.
Yeah, well, I had to dig up this.
I see you
stat
dig
that I
it.
had here. Okay, so this year, the Husker opener versus UTEP will be the first time since 2019 that Nebraska will open the season at home and will open against a non-conference opponent. That is the most ridiculous stat I've ever heard in college football.
5 years.
It's been almost 5 years since we've started a game at home and opened against a non-conference opponent. I feel like that is the difference between Nebraska winning or losing against Colorado. I think you look back at 2018, that year that Adrian got hurt as a freshman. The first game got canceled. We had to play our first game against Colorado. Probably should have beat him. He gets hurt. You know, everything changes.
He wasn't hurt. He was injured.
He was
like
injured.
That was not accidental.
Yes, they hurt him.
Twisted his knee. They hurt him.
So if you look at this year and you talk about Dylan Raiola and what this season could look like, he's going to get one game underneath his belt against UTEP. Then he gets his chance at Prime. So to me, I think that UTEP game is way more important than us looking at Colorado. If you want to say, what happens if we lose to Colorado? I'll say, well, just like all the other years, we lost another game. Let's turn the page and hope we win the next one. Because what are you going to do?
That's all we really know.
That's all we know anyways. It doesn't change anything. This team is in rebuilding mode. If you lose to Colorado, which God forbid, I hope we fucking don't, because you'd like to think that we're doing it the right way and Coach Prime is a fucking clown. But if we lose to Colorado, okay, on to the next one. So, right? We need to make a bowl game. We're not worried about, it's the quest to 6. And we'll have a lot more opportunities after Colorado.
Not 10?
It's the quest to 6.
6 people. 6.
Not 10.
Not 10.
I want to flip the script here because right now we're talking about what happens if Nebraska loses to Colorado. What does the mindset of the team, the coaching, and especially the fan base, what does that look like if week 1 we beat UTEP, and then week 2 we beat Colorado? What does this team look like? Are they carrying that swagger? Are they a team that I know there is a lot of speculation that we could be 7-0 going into Ohio State? What does that mean if we get through those first 2 weeks? Because obviously in those first 2, Colorado, I think all sights are on Colorado. Nobody overlooking UTEP. I know they're a good team. But getting to those first 2 and that big one under the lights against Prime, national attention, what do you think that means for a young guy like Dylan Raiola and all these young receivers, this line? What do we think that does?
Well, I will speak for myself. I personally will be insufferable. I will be annoying. I will be brash. I will be loud. Say, ha! We do it right.
If we win.
If we win.
And if we lose.
No, hold on. No. He asked if we win, damn it.
We're on if we win now.
Okay.
Listen, if we lose, where's the noose, right?
Yeah,
that whole
there's
thing.
the Bob Carey Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we
win, right? I mean, if we win with everybody watching, like, listen, if they win, you already know the narrative by a lot of people. Colorado's not good anyway. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Considering where this program is, like, I don't want to make this out to be like a program defining win, but it is just one of those wins that has eluded this team for so long. Just when people are actually like during the Pelini years,
every time a meaningful game popped up, what happened?
Yep.
We'd lose.
When everybody's watching,
Embarrassed.
you go to Madison at 7:00 at night and you're on ABC, or you're in Memorial Stadium for fuck's sake at night, or USC comes to town. When Bell Callahan was the coach, I met Keanu Reeves on the sideline. That was really fun. Laid an egg.
Did he think there was something wrong with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is before he was John Wick, and I think he might have just did Constantine.
Ooh.
Was that Constantine? 2004.
Oh, I'm sure.
So yeah, this would be. I don't care what anybody says. It would be fucking amazing. Yeah, it would just be like one of those things where, in the past, we've all been scarred, we've all been abused, we've all been beaten by this team in prime time. And it would just be one of those where it would be one in the pocket of rule, one of the good ones. You know what I mean? It's not just really a Northwestern win, right? Or a Illinois on the road. Like, this is a primetime fucking win against a primetime coach. Excuse my language there.
I look at it like, okay, we watched Colorado beat TCU last year. They were in the national championship the year before. Beat them. Nobody knew TCU was going to be as bad as they were that year. Last year, they were terrible. So Colorado beats them. But they go in there, and all everybody knows is it's Colorado, it's prime versus the defending second place champion, national championship contenders, right?
Yep.
And they go in and they beat them. And this year, it's like, all right, Colorado's coming in. They got all this hype around them. Everybody loves it. Can Nebraska actually do it? Can Nebraska actually take... Everybody would assume, I'm sure, right now, give it to Colorado. They've got all these new players and whatever. Like, just one time. Just Colorado goes and takes down TCU with all that hype behind TCU, and Nebraska can't seem to do it. This is that game. This is that game.
They can never seem to do it. Can they do it?
Can I look at it a different way, though?
Yes. No.
I mean, I'm going to.
No, just this one.
Will I be ecstatic if we beat Colorado? Yes, because fuck Colorado, fuck their fans, fuck their coach.
Are you taking wins for granted, Mike?
No.
Don't do it.
No. But what I want to say is this, is if we want to say that we're a blue blood program, then when we win, we should celebrate it like we should have won that game.
Nope.
And I'm not saying, and I'm also the guy that's saying we need to go 6-6. Like, we need to make a bowl game, right? But like, this Colorado team was 4-8 last year.
Mm-hmm.
They beat you last year, and their fans are louder, almost as loud as Iowa fans. But on the flip side, that's the second game of the season, and I'm not going to be celebrating like it's my Super Bowl. I'm not trying to put a feather in their cap, because that's what they said. They said the reason that when teams beat us, we were their Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're their Super Bowl.
And they had a lot of feathers in their cap because they lost a lot of freaking games. So to me, if we win, I think it just proves that Prime's way of doing things obviously isn't fucking working. And to me, it's like, okay, let's turn the page and let's see how we do against Big Ten teams, because the Pac-12 is a fucking joke. The Big 12, we'll see.
Yeah, well, and so, Mike, I agree with you a lot on that. Like, I think Colorado, in my opinion, is a game we should win.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be acting like
this is our Super Bowl. It shouldn't be.
No, we shouldn't. There are bigger games. The one that I look like, I don't know that we'll win, but like, we beat Ohio State, celebrate.
Yeah, you want to talk about a game that I would be ripping my clothes off and streaking on the 50-yard line?
Ohio State.
Yeah, go beat Ohio State. Then that's my game.
And so
and you're late in the season, the timing and everything. Like, we can say when you lose, if you lose that game in week 2, we've been there, done that. Let's just turn the page and hope we get
here's the thing.
Another game.
Here's the thing. You've been there, done that. And what has been the result every time?
More losing.
Just another non-bowl year.
Well, so again,
like, enough of this. Enough.
I immediately jumped to a game where, Mike, like you said, strip your clothes off, run down the street, Ohio State.
Yeah.
USC, UCLA. Those are games, we win those, celebrate. Colorado, these are games like you just said. We should win that game.
Here's where I'm.
Win that game.
When's the last time we beat Colorado?
Dude, they've won what, like 4 in a row? Some bullshit. And back when we were still in the Big 12, obviously, with fucking Joe Gans probably in the all whites or some bullshit.
Yeah. And when's the last time we had a primetime game that we actually won?
Oh, that's been a real long time.
Fuck. So I'm going to the guy that said last year, if you made a bowl game, storm the field. Storm the field.
I did say that.
Storm the field.
You're
We're
right.
a blue blood. We've been there before. Storm the field. If we beat Colorado, I'm telling you right now, I am celebrating. And I'm celebrating like I haven't celebrated in 15 years.
With this Hurrdat gear on.
See,
or off.
but I think you can celebrate winning against Colorado, but you also got to realize that there's still 9 more games. Like,
yes.
Or 10 more games. So like, to me, I'm going to enjoy it, but then it's got to be business as usual that next week on Monday,
Right.
we're going to celebrate and laugh at Colorado, but then I'm ready for the next game because I'm sorry. It's just so early. I'm saying 6-6. We're late in the season. We're grinding. We're trying to make a bowl game. If we do something we haven't done with the team that we had, I would have fucking stormed the field. But this is different. This is a team that is expected to make a bowl game. They're expected to beat Colorado. So if you do what you're expected to do, you shouldn't celebrate like it's the first time that you got your dicky sticky, you know? Like I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I have a question, and tell me if it sounds dumb. Throughout this whole schedule, let's not look at, the quality of the win, because I think obviously we probably all agree on quality of win. If we got it, would be Ohio State, like the highest quality of win. But the highest value win on this season for me is probably Colorado.
Go on.
I think like it is just like internally, it would make beating Colorado and beating them badly would be my goal, would be the highest value for me as a person.
Here's the thing.
I mean, I'm not saying highest value for the program. Obviously, again, that's Ohio State. But like I have found out over the last year and a half that I always thought that I hated Iowa the most. And in that time, I have found out that is not even remotely true. It is Colorado. I hate them with every ounce of my being. So that would be the one that I really need.
When I say Nebraska needs this win, you talk about how Nebraska should win. And you're coming at that from the physical football player standpoint, right? Our coaches are better. We should have better all-around players. Right here. Imagine if they fucking lose that game.
Well, as long as we
I'm sorry. And look,
4 fumbles.
It doesn't say that again.
As long as we don't have 4 fumbles.
Say that again.
Put the camera on him. 4 fumbles.
Do you have the camera on him? Say that right there.
As long as we don't have 4 fumbles.
Put the camera on me now. It's always if with you fucking people. It's always if.
I know.
I know.
What do you mean, you people?
You people. Speaking of Trump, no. Up here. And look, I know Matt Rule's our coach, and things are supposed to be different, right? With the way he goes about things, the daily, weekly prep, and the dedication, and how he is more Nebraskan than the dude before. I know. You gotta win for this mental. That's the only thing holding us back, dude. It's the mental blocks. And like, you would think things would be different with Rule here. And I think they are for the most part, okay? But Jesus, if they lose that game against Colorado, Mike says, like, you got to move on. Yeah, of course. But they fucking won't. They won't. And because I won't either. Because I'm a mentally weak fan.
I mean, but we're talking about Colorado. Like, I just want to beat UTEP, guys.
I know.
I want to beat UTEP.
Yeah.
Like, Georgia Southern beat us last time we had a home game in Memorial Stadium as a non-conference. Like, that stat says 2019. We lost that game. So, like, I know Colorado there's a target on that game.
There is. Whether you want to admit it, whether the players want to admit it,
yes,
they have that game circled.
They have
the nation knows.
But I'm sorry. I remember under the previous regime, it was, we didn't want to show too much. And then somehow we find a way to lose or make it way too close with the team that we shouldn't do that with. There should be nothing. All the tricks should be ready to roll. Like, you need to take care of UTEP, get the reps you need, and then be ready for Colorado. Because they're going to be ready for you.
It will. Okay. We are 50 minutes in to this with no break. And
50?
I think all of us are out of beer at this point. So we're going to take a quick break. And
do we have any comments at all or no?
Sir Paul Kavalak says, well, now we have NU fans rooting for a loss, so we don't have to see you guys naked. Smiley face.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
No, that's not true. I said I would be naked for Ohio State.
The conservative Husker says, while we're celebrating, the fans will be keying our cars.
Very true.
He says Huskers 2024.
Oh,
Hey, if Colorado is only keying our cars, I think we got off easy.
just 2024. What about 2025 and 2026, 2027?
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Block no rock.
Hey, you didn't play Joe.
Yeah. Is there a reason for that, Kyle?
It's fine. It's fine. I get it. We have a very select, audience in there. They probably wouldn't want to hear that guy. He'd freak out.
Or really like it.
He'd go, ho, that's why I'm not voting. Well, thank you, Troy. So Nebraska's making a move.
Method Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Method Man. I'll say it.
I've never even thanked Wu-Tang. I've always
You
thanked
have.
Joe and I thanked Troy.
You've thanked Method Man before.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Meth. God damn it.
Go on.
Okay, Nebraska's making a change that a lot of people feel has been a long time coming. They're switching from artificial turf to natural grass. Now, could it be natural grass or could it be a hybrid? We don't know exactly, but it seems like they're making the change from artificial turf to some form of grass. This is Mike's hill he wants to die on. This is his grassy hill. Not no hill with turf on it.
It's not a grassy knoll.
It's not a grassy knoll. It's actually a grassy knoll.
Yeah.
Mike, what does this mean? Is this good? Is this bad?
No, I think it's good, and I think it goes back to what Connor said last week. He said Matt Rule is the most powerful man at Nebraska.
In the state?
In the state of Nebraska. Yeah. That's what he said.
I believe that.
Like more powerful than Pete Ricketts?
Yeah.
Pete Ricketts isn't even the governor anymore.
I think
fair.
Jim Pillen's the governor.
Yeah. And he's in Matt Rule's corner. So
Yeah.
I would say that this kind of reiterates that, because Matt Rule has said since he came to Nebraska that he would prefer our team play on natural grass because of the injury risk of turf.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw it in the spring game. 2 guys went down because of turf. There's not any give on artificial turf where there is on grass. And I'm not saying that you're not going to tear your ACL on grass, because that's stupid.
We'll never have any injuries,
But there is like literally stats behind the injury rate on a grass field versus a turf field. So I think it is really good. I did tell Jared before we got on a break that it will save you 6 or 7 opportunities to protect yourself, but you are still going to play on a lot of turf fields. So, that's still tricky. But I think it's big time. I think it's good. I want to know the operation, though. So, like, they're going to gut all the turf, right?
I would
Then
imagine.
what? Then they have to probably put in a big irrigation system to keep all this grass beautiful and green during the fall, because we do play football in November when it snows and it freezes.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I know Iowa State does it just perfectly. So why can't you do it in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Because Iowa State's an ag school. That's why.
I think another important part of this, and I think it's kind of overlooked. Mike, you are 100% right. I do agree that grass is far better for player safety than turf, especially if you look at slit turf. I think there's only 4 teams left in the NFL that are allowed to use slit turf, and my Colts are one of them. But outside of the injury risk, you also look at field temp, which is something people overlook with turf quite a bit. Turf fields are significantly hotter on field level than grass. So you're improving quality all around, both in safety and comfortability. I think you allow your team to play better by just switching over to grass. Like you said, in Nebraska, it's going to be certainly much more high maintenance than if you are, playing at USC.
Yeah,
where,
or Florida.
Yeah, one of those. And I know, like, Nebraska is not the hottest stadium around, but it does get very hot down there. It gets hot in the stands.
Dude, remember that Michigan game?
Oh, I do.
It was 93 degrees. No, this was just last year.
Yeah,
last Michigan.
Yeah, when
okay.
We totally didn't leave at halftime.
No,
totally didn't leave at halftime. Can you imagine being on the sun rays? I know you talked about when it's cold, Mike, but like, this is one of my big things is people say that we're like a cold weather, like we're a cold weather state.
Sure.
But during football season, it's not that bad. I'm sorry. It's just not. There's probably more hot days than there are cold. Well, look.
Disagree.
Yeah. Then we get into definitions of what's hot versus cold.
Yeah.
I would say hot is anything over like 93, 95.
Damn. There's a lot of fifth.
That's
Dude,
hot.
Hey,
even
there's
in, like,
a lot
the
of
80s, it can be a hot game, especially when you're packed in like sardines with the rest of your fans.
Wait, are we talking about as a fan experience? Or
Yeah,
as
I
a
think he's talking as a
player
fan experience, right?
Well, I mean, if you're standing on the turf, because that sun is reflecting off the tires in the turf.
Yeah.
That shit is so hot.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't recognize.
Right.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh actually made a comment after that Michigan-Nebraska game. Was like, I have no idea why they sit on that side of the field. They were just over there cooking in the sun.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Michigan, everybody's hanging out on is it the west side? The east side? I forget what side
It's
there.
west side.
Nebraska's on the east.
Nebraska's on the east.
Yeah. So they're sitting on the west side and they're just like, yeah, we were just looking at all them just cooking over there.
Why the hell would we do that?
I don't
Not
know.
anymore.
Not anymore.
Because Matt Rule
Thank
made
God.
that change too.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
powerful man in Nebraska.
yes, right. Besides the Ricketts. Mike, you said Iowa State. Another field that people will point to is Lambeau.
Yeah.
But the thing that Lambeau does, and I'm reading off of this article here, they use what's called Deso Grassmaster, which is a hybrid grass. It's a mix of artificial fibers and natural grass.
Mhm.
So, I don't know.
Can I,
Whatever that means.
does the article that you're reading, does it tell you what the benefit of a hybrid is?
It does not, I don't think. I didn't delve that deep. I don't- I just read the
hybrid
headlines.
Any more safe than artificial?
I don't know.
I would think it would be at least a little bit more safe.
yeah.
And I had read a survey that NFL players did. It's like over 90% prefer playing on grass
Yeah.
because it's more natural.
Well, yeah. And
Hey, weird.
especially when we look at college football players, I think it's fair to say that a lot of these guys, if not all, have aspirations to go to the next level. So putting them on a safer field gives them the ability. Because, like, if you're, and this sucks, like Thomas Fidone has torn 2 ACLs, and that drastically impacts his future.
Yeah.
So putting them on a safer field, it's more expensive to go to grass. I get that. It is a long
cares?
Pay up.
Who
But-
cares?
but-
Puff
yeah.
it.
Give these kids a safe place to play and develop, and allow these kids to develop and go to that next level if they can. I
And-
think it just makes sense.
And like, if you think of natural playing surfaces in the Big Ten, you look at Purdue, and that might scare some people because like DeMornay Pearsonell.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You know what they did? They put up the little fucking sprinkler thing above the grass. They put up the little sprinkler thing above the grass, and that's how he pulled his shit because he like tripped over it or something.
Yeah.
So none of that, please.
I
Okay,
think
we're not a bunch of amateurs here.
Nebraska will figure that out.
You don't think-
I think Nebraska is smart enough to, if they're going to make this move, they're going to do it the right way.
Yeah,
Because Nebraska doesn't cut corners when we do these big investments in things.
you know they've got funding. Our guy Tyler Two Phones, TK Two Phones, is going to make sure that it's done the right way. Get the funding for it. Like, yeah, Nebraska ain't skipping any corners, like you said.
Yeah. And on that note, Tyler Two Phones, I'll be your grass master. I don't know my salary yet. I haven't come to like a figure quite yet.
You'll
but
mow.
I'll wear my Timmer t-shirt while I'm mowing the grass in my shades.
There you go.
Kyle, you need an
Just
intern.
something to think about.
You need an intern. I'll put gas in that mower for you.
All right.
Somebody get down in that field every
Get the
once in a
whole
while.
crew together.
Yeah.
Like a pit crew.
Kyle would do it for free.
Yeah.
You would,
Honestly,
wouldn't you?
it would be awesome.
NBNR Landscaping coming to a town near you.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they just threw that out there for people? Like, who wants to be the
Grass
and, you,
master
and you won't get paid.
Do you know how many people would
Oh, yeah.
actually say yes to that?
Do you think there'd be ag students taking care of the field though?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a good opportunity for the ag program. Like, you have experts or like people that are learning how to do this stuff to begin with. So just have them work on it as a school project or have
Give them
them take
credits.
care of it. Yeah.
Give them credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or hire professionals that know what they're doing. So there's the risk of not having sprinkler heads above the grass.
That's absurd.
But could you imagine? Like,
Right. That's going to be the F student.
but could you
You get an
imagine-
F.
Every school has an F
To-
student though.
Thomas Fidone tore his third ACL because you left the fucking
So by the,
sprinkler
by
on
the
your
time the
stage
grass
swelled.
comes, Thomas will not be here anymore.
Thank you, Mike.
And
And killing
Dylan-
the joke.
And Dylan will be a junior. So
2026.
2026.
Never mind. You're going to say something. I thought.
Oh, I guess I was just gonna say, like, I think, yeah, you get these kids. Let's say the ag program is the one taking care of this field. Not only are you going to get a field that is managed by actual professionals, the professors that are going to be overseeing it, you're developing the ag program to a point where people that are coming out of that program are now infinitely ahead of people that are trying to do, sports field management and their other fields. Like, the University of Nebraska already has a great PGA management program. I don't know if you guys know that.
Mhm.
It's actually very nice.
I golfed
This-
against some PGA management students one time
They
and
beat
they
your ass?
beat the
breaks off of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They knew how the grass worked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
So-
that was the advantage.
Now you're developing this turf management program or grass management program out a little bit higher. I think it could be done. I'm not saying you should do it, but I think it could be a benefit all the way around.
You're going to get the one student that is a grass master, just in a different way. That fails all of his.
You know what? I don't care what kind of grass master is. If Memorial Stadium looks green and beautiful every Saturday, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, do it.
I don't care what you do with grass.
Sign the petition. Legalize grass
They already, dude. They got
In
so many
Memorial.
signatures.
everywhere.
They got
Grass everywhere.
They got like 40,000 more signatures than they needed.
Fucking rickets. It's not rickets. Okay. Does anyone else want to add anything about
Grass? No, I'm
Grass.
good.
No, I think it's good.
smoking doobies?
Nobody said that. What are you talking about?
Okay. Last thing. So Nebraska added this new this little assistant, this tiny assistant. What's his official title? Like senior football analyst or something like that?
Well, there's no more analysts. So that was
Okay,
the bigger thing is
Go
that
on.
now universities, analysts can actually coach on the field and they can recruit. So Nebraska is going to expand their coaching staff by another 20 positions. So
Okay.
that's big time.
So Jamar Mosey, senior football assistant, who was a longtime coach in Lee's Summit, Missouri, which is just outside of Kansas City. Mike, you pointed out that these coaches are allowed to actually do stuff,
Mhm.
and you can have
Legally now. They are allowed to do that now legally.
Scott Bleep is shaking. But they can do anything they want, basically. Maybe not anything.
They can do more than they were able to.
That one guy that we won't mention. So I guess I'll ask you guys is what are the benefits of adding this guy in particular?
Oh, I mean, that's easy. I mean,
Come on, hit me with it.
I think being able to recruit in Kansas City again is big time.
There you go.
I mean, we've pulled some good players out of there in the past, and I think it'd be a good opportunity to get back in there. I know they have I think his son is one of the best recruits in the country, and he's in Kansas City.
Committed to Oregon.
Okay, I didn't know if he was committed or not.
Yeah, he's
but
committed.
he's committed to Oregon, but there's still a lot of time. And you know, if your dad's coaching on staff in Nebraska, you got to play in the Big Ten still. Hey, maybe not. Well, we'll see. I think it's a good opportunity because it's the Matt Rule thing where it's like I like to bring on former head coaches that coach at the high school level. He's got one that's coaching at Texas Tech. He's got another one that got a DUI and got fired. But I mean, I think his track record is that he likes to develop coaches along with developing players. So I think it fits the mold of what he's trying to do here at Nebraska. And I mean, I'm excited that they're finally letting these analysts go do something.
Now, another question I'll throw out there. If you can hire all of these new coaches to do things,
Mhm.
like, do you foresee any issues with that? Or is it just a pure good?
I don't personally, like, just on the surface, I don't see any issues. I think the guys that were already able to recruit and maybe weren't quite as big a presence, I don't see them feeling like this is an issue, like they're losing part of their capabilities. I think this gives room to guys that, you know, are more focused on their direct roles and how they can impact the team very directly. I think it gives them kind of some relief where we have guys, these analysts that go out, they know what they're looking for, they know what we need to go out and do that for them. And I'm sure there's still some discourse in between that room about, you know, what the overall picture is, but I don't see this being a negative in any way.
I'll be honest. I asked that question. Having too many coaches, would that be a potential issue?
I think so.
I tried to tee that up for Kyle over there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Come on.
good. You're
Why?
good.
What's the fear? That there's too many what?
There's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks?
I don't know. I think there is such thing as like too much people in the room. Like there's just too many people. Like I think for Matt Rule to try to organize and try to run a program, if you're running it like you've got the same amount of people that Mike has at Mutual of Omaha, like it's too much.
Just
man.
a bunch of worthless people.
Gotta be, yeah. It's just gotta be like super stressful and just too much to organize. Like I think there is certainly a sweet spot that you kind of have to stick to. You can't just be out just hiring all these people just to do little individual tasks. Like it just doesn't really work that way. There's got to be a sweet spot in there.
But I wouldn't say that they're doing individual tasks or anything like that. If you look at roster management, like Nebraska is going to have a heavy roster, probably around 120 guys, right? And at the moment, you've got a one position coach for each area, and you've got freaking 20 offensive linemen, 20 defensive linemen. They're going to help make their job easier. The NFL doesn't just have their assistant coaches and that's it. They've got all these paid employees to help these guys out, help work these guys, and help. And I think Matt Rule, out of any coach in college football, what do we always say? They all sound the same.
Yeah.
I think Matt Rule is going to only hire guys that are like-minded and can persuade and say the same vision that he has for this program. So I trust in Matt Rule.
Timmer.
I timmer hard. And so I timmer what Matt Rule is going to do when he hires these analysts and assistants and all these extra coaches that can help him do his day-to-day as a CEO of Nebraska.
Well, and so this is an analogy I make all the time, is that, a mosaic is made of 1,000 small pieces.
Nice.
To make one big picture.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it takes, 1,000 small pieces to do it. Is it easy? No. And I'm not saying it is, and I don't think Matt Rule thinks it's easy, but I think
We got fucking Van Gogh over here.
Yeah. Thank you.
But he's got an ear.
Check it out. Yeah, I have both ears. But I think that, again, it's understood that, the guys that are going to be out there putting the pieces in place understand the vision, understand what needs to be done. And it's not going to be like every guy that's going to be being brought on. What do we say? 20 new analysts. Not all of them are going to be out recruiting. Not all of them are going to be out doing that kind of beating the bricks kind of stuff. But bringing guys on that understand what we need to do and how we need to do it, I think I see that as just a pro in every way.
And they're
great success.
And they're not all new too. I think it's just like some of these guys are getting
Elevated.
title changes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys that are now going to be able to coach have been on the staff for a long time. So you're not teaching 20 new guys about Matt Rule football. You're just literally giving them new titles.
It's like
and hiring one guy from Kansas City.
Yeah, you're not going to get like 20 different Twitter notifications like, "Oh, we hired this guy from
being elevated
from St. Louis.
It's a draft.
School.
It's a draft. Nebraska drafted Bill Belichick as the next assistant."
Well, and that is another interesting thing is like Kyle's concerned about too many Indians in the kitchen.
Got him.
It's like on one hand, it's if there is any coach that you would think would be able to handle that, it's Matt Rule because of his organization and all that stuff that we've beat to death. But it's also at the same time, Matt Rule likes to, I don't know, does he like to do things on his own? And it's just, he's going to have all these people just like meddling around. And it's like, I don't know. See, and I know that he has to hire them and he has to like approve of their hire and all that. But it's just like, bro, I'll just do it. Like, just get the fuck out of here.
But but I would disagree with what you just said. I think Matt Rule is incredibly collaborative. If you look at how he's worked with all of these guys that he's brought in, and frankly, at any program, Matt Rule is incredibly collaborative. I've never thought of him as, kind of I'm the only one in charge kind of guy.
Fair.
So I don't see that being an issue either.
Just being very meticulous.
Yeah, meticulous is fair.
He needs things just so.
But controlling, I don't think I would say that.
That's fair.
I would say this though. If you think that all these guys were not coaching to begin with, you're a little crazy.
Yeah.
Mike, are you saying college football programs are skirting some rules?
I'm just telling you that we don't hire former head coaches to be analysts and have them do nothing, to sit there and do paperwork. These guys have been coaching now. They just legally can do it now. And I think this benefits Nebraska too, because I think we have a lot of guys on staff that could get other opportunities elsewhere. And I think if you have assistants or analysts or whatever you want to call them now, if they are working with that coach, I think it makes a smooth transition. If a guy like Rob Dvorak leaves and goes and takes a bigger job somewhere else, I think then you have a guy who's already worked with those linebackers, and you're not reteaching everything again because he has two guys that are working with linebackers as well. So I think it makes things smoother just all across the board.
And this is all assuming that Rob Dvorak is still here and the defense is still good.
I'm not saying that Rob, maybe he's the next DC at Nebraska. Who knows? I'm just saying that if you think that these guys were not coaching to begin with, nothing has really changed. Now they're just allowed to do it on paper.
It's the same argument that I actually had, I believe, yesterday about NIL and how I was told NIL is the devil. It's like these players were getting paid no matter what.
Yeah.
Now it's above board.
I know that for a fact. Mike knows that for a fact.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we were told that it did occur before NIL.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's
Who
just
told-
above board now.
Who told you guys this?
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Name names.
No names.
Jared Hall.
I am a I'm a verified source in the department.
Yeah.
Of name,
C
image,
League
likeness.
intramural. You were getting
I am
$4.50 a game.
I wipe Matt Davidson's ass. I'm plugged in.
He's
He's in there.
I'm in there. When he's on the turlet talking on the phone, I'm privy to all that info. I'm right there, Kyle. What, Kyle?
Okay. So the last thing here, it's a comment from the conservative Husker on YouTube.
Oh boy.
What's up, King?
It just says, damn, I hope Dylan is what we think he is. This year will be insane if he is as good or better than Adrian was when he was here. And all I'll say to that, and we've talked about this in the past, it'll be nice and short, is if the people around Dylan are better than they were last year, you will find success.
Yeah.
Dylan included.
You'll find-
He wasn't here last year, but Dylan included, if he's 5% better than the quarterbacks were last year, and if everyone around him was better, just like if everyone around Adrian was better, everything would have been good.
He will find what?
Great success. Here we go.
Great success. I would also tell you. So,
With the stupid music playing.
Kyle, can you read that comment back to me one more time?
If Dylan Raiola is as good as we think, then holy shit, we're going to be
No,
awesome.
But it said something about being better than Adrian.
Yeah, he just said this year will be insane if he is as good or better than Adrian was when he was here.
I would tell you. And this, I don't think it's an unpopular take. I also don't think a lot of people realize it. Adrian Martinez was a very, very talented quarterback. Like, to say Dylan Raiola, we need him to be better than Adrian was while he was here, that's not a small ask. Adrian was a warrior. He fought through injuries, and he did everything he could. I think, Kyle, to your point, if the people around Dylan are better, and Dylan is as good as Adrian, you will see that success.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'll never, ever talk down on Adrian Martinez. That guy's a dog.
Adrian had to do a lot of things for the offense. And so, yes, your point, Kyle, is it's kind of ironic too, because we used to be so quarterback centric.
Yeah.
And now we bring in literally our best quarterback recruit that we've ever had. And we're trying to be less quarterback centric. But as long as you have a good team around him, that should be okay.
Yeah. Hey, same for Heinrich. Same for Heinrich.
Yeah.
Dude had to do a lot.
Heinrich, a dog. A
Yes.
dog.
Yep.
Dude got his head bashed in every play.
I will say,
Anything else?
so Adrian accounted for 25 touchdowns as a freshman. And although totally different playing styles, Adrian ran for 8 touchdowns and he threw for 17 touchdown passes. If Dylan runs for 8 touchdowns and throws for 17 touchdown passes, that's a hell of a year, but he ain't
gonna rush rate.
He ain't gonna rush rate.
I don't see rushing being that high.
Yeah.
I
So
think I could see rushing for 3 or 4.
totally different styles. Totally different styles.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a Adrian-esque type season where we think that he is putting together a building block for the next year or the next year, then I think we're going to be winning a lot of football games.
We're gonna be Colorado week 2. Damn it.
Damn right.
And UTEP.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
I'm good.
I think I'm
All
good.
right. All you people out there.
Oh, one last thing. Twitter now makes you sign up for premium to go live on Twitter. So we haven't had our normal audience on here. So just letting everybody know, I believe we'll have premium Twitter in the near future so that we can still go live on Twitter.
What is it, like $9 or some shit?
Yeah.
One thing I do want to bring up before we get to the real closeout stuff, the Golden Ear Podcast Awards are a thing this year. It is a much more broad. I don't know if you guys remember, we did the Nebraska Podcast Awards last year.
Mhm.
Golden Ear Podcast Awards, a lot more broad, a lot more categories. Like anybody that is in Nebraska, outside of Nebraska, just Nebraska centric. We got nominated. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. I believe voting starts somewhat soon.
Yeah, I think we have to turn in some stuff by like this upcoming Sunday. So we'll get that stuff done, and then we'll give you guys some more details on kind of what is included and all that.
Okay. Go to NBNRPodcast.com. We got merch. We got past episodes.
We got a blog.
We got a blog. We got a forum that you can talk shit on.
How much does it cost to sign up for the forum?
Fucking zero.
Zero. It's free.
It's free.
Oh,
Just like everything else in this life should be. Conservative Husker.
why him? Why him?
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. All the same handle. NBNR Podcast. We try to keep it so easy for you guys out there to find us. So give us a 5-star review. You know, I hate to beg, but I'm begging. I need that 5-star review. Please.
Go to YouTube. Hit the subscribe button.
We need subscriptions. Are we at 600 something?
6 something.
Yeah.
When we get to 1,000,
More.
Mike's getting a tattoo.
We need more.
I feel like this thing just keeps changing. Now it's Mike's getting attacked.
Just Mike.
We're all getting it.
Only Mike. Mike is going to get 4 tattoos. One for
Yeah.
each, one for us. One each.
NBNR. 4 tattoos.
Oh,
you
no.
go. You don't like that? Are you scared?
I'm
Bitch
good.
boy.
I'll hold your hand. It's okay.
Before we sign off, I just want to say, Kyle Byers, we got to add that drop. Timmer. Anything else, guys?
Nah.
I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Connor Cadillac.
Kyle Byers.
As always, congratulations, Brett Sears.
To the Braves.
And congratulations, Josh Karen, both drafted. Should have mentioned that earlier.
Highest drafted catcher since 1985
You're
for
kidding.
for Nebraska. Yep.
Josh Karen to the Mariners.
Good for him.
Okay.
Oh, Karener. That's a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Karen.
Trademark.
Beat UTEP. Hold on, what'd you say?
Karener.
I said
Trademark.
Trademark.
Oh.
Own it before you can.
Make a shirt.
And GBR.